Immediately after the defeat of John Lackland, Philip August claims the famous abbey as a symbol of the increased power of the King of France. The king spends huge amounts of money on the reconstruction of the abbey. This is how the merveille, the marvel, comes into being. Against the north side of the granite rock, a magnificent work of architecture comes into being. At the top level, you will find cloisters and refectory. The cloister is one of the most beautiful monastery gardens in Europe. It is an enclosed garden, inspired by words from the Song of Songs. These are the words. She's a garden enclosed, my sister, my promised bride. A garden enclosed, a sealed fountain. As Bernard of Clairvaux had explained, the metaphor of the enclosed garden refers to the womb of the Mother of Christ. In the Middle Ages, cloisters, enclosed gardens, become meditative spaces in which the monks contemplate the very beginning, the origin, the embryo of salvation, awaiting fulfillment in the womb of the Virgin. This enclosed garden gives access to another fabulous space, the refectory. In this dining room, some of the light comes in through the eastern windows. The rest of the light is filtered through windows, which are hidden from sight by the angle in which they have been placed in the wall. The light is magnificent. At the lower level, two magnificent halls have been constructed for the ever-expanding flow of visitors. The night room, with its robust pillars, creates an atmosphere for the knighthood. Those who fight have a worldly orientation. Those who fight have to be rooted, like the columns which surround them. Look at the difference. This guest room is for the clergy. Those who pray look for a special atmosphere. Those who pray want to transcend the world. Their orientation is upwards, towards the divine. Their spiritual orientation is encouraged by the slender columns in their upward movement. The lowest level has been reserved for those who labor. In this space, the common pilgrims were received. When the 100 Years' War between the French and the English breaks out in 1337, Le MtStMichel is one of the main sanctuaries in France. The abbey is frequented by a never-ending stream of pilgrims. Contributions of pilgrims and donations of nobles and kings generate a constant flow of income. In 1348, the abbot Nicolas de Vitrier introduces a practice whereby part of the revenues goes to the abbey and the rest to the abbot himself. As a result, the leadership of the abbey becomes a prosperous business. Worldly abbots make their appearance. Pierre de Roy is one of the great scholars of canon law. He also creates a palace-like residence for himself inside the abbey. The close ties between the abbey and the monarchy result in the encampment of a royal garrison on the island. Robert Jolivet, he no longer lives in the abbey. In 1411, he takes up residence in Paris until the king requests the fortification of the island. Back in Normandy, Robert Jolivet starts with the fortification of Le Mont-Saint-Michel. He is both abbot and captain of the rock, but not for long. In 1420 he goes over to the enemy. As the English gain control over large parts of Normandy, the population is forced to choose between the acceptance of the English nationality or the loss of property through confiscation. A fair number of nobles stayed faithful to the French course. After the loss of all property, they sought refuge on the island. Le Mont-Saint-Michel becomes symbol of the French identity. Le Mont-Saint-Michel is defended by towers, successive courtyards and ramparts. So the only way to take the impregnable fortified island is through famine and lack of water. In 1424, the English complete a blockade from the sea. But privateers of Saint-Malo in Brittany command an expedition and disperse the English. It seemed that the Archangel himself had made this victory possible. His cult won all the more prestige. His name is on everybody's lip. And that is exactly the time when the Archangel appears to the 14-year-old Joan of Arc and tells her, "I am Michael, protector of France. Arise and go to help the King of France." Joan obeys, leads the king to Rheims for his coronation, and that creates a turning point in the 100 Years' War. In 1434, 3 years after Joan of Arc has been burnt at the stake in Rouen, the English launch another attack on the abbey, which now symbolizes the unity of France. This time they enter Le Mont-Saint-Michel. Heavy fighting takes place around the abbey. The Roman choir collapses. But eventually the invaders are killed or chased away, leaving these cannons behind. Royal donations of King Charles VII enabled the reconstruction of the choir. A fabulous choir in a flamboyant Gothic style arises. It still bears witness to the loyalty of Normandy to the King of France at the time of the English invasion. A last look at the Abbey of Le Mont-Saint-Michel, true monument to the French identity. The Gothic choir, in the center, commemorates the repulsion of the English invasion during the 100 Years' War. And the Merveille, the marvel, on its right, represents the first hegemony of the King of France in Normandy.